Hello, my name is Daniel Spence and I run Automation X, which is an automation agency that builds really cool automations and lead generation. So let me run you through four automations that are by far one of my favourite automation builds that we've ever built. As you know, we do a lot of lead generation stuff, so this is really exciting for me. So let me run you through exactly what it is and what it does and how it works, and hopefully it should give you a good idea of what some of the capabilities of these automation tools are. So this first part is part one. This is basically the taking the webhook. So we've got a form that gets filled out. Once the form is filled out, it then triggers this webhook and basically starts the automation. So we split it two ways, whether it's an other or whether it's actually like we're selecting a company. So the form looks like this, with who we want to target, putting in the industry there, very specific about who we want to target, and then we've got extra information. So this is normally the reason for reaching out. It's basically what you tell your sales team. So like the reason for reaching out to them, it might be that there's new budget or they're going to be busy in spring or whatever it is. And then location, we've got a list of all of these. Where it splits off here is for UK, so if the whole of the UK is selected, or if other is selected, it then goes the other way, which goes down here. Basically, the process here is basically splitting this into multiple spreadsheets. Hit the follow button, you don't want to miss what's next. So each row has all of the UK towns and cities in, and it adds all of the variables next to them so that we end up with a full comprehensive list of all of the UK, so that we're not trying to massively scrape loads of data for the whole of the UK. We're actually scraping all of Manchester, and then we're scraping all of Birmingham, and then we're scraping all of that. So just to give you a bit of context for that, and then we just split this down here and add all of those rows in. These are just notifications to notify my phone if something goes terribly wrong. But so far, touch wood, nothing's gone wrong. Part 1.5 is the next part of the automation. So each one of these sheets are individually created and each row is individually added, and into here, this is where the actual scraping starts. So we're using the Google Sheet where these leads are added. It's sat here watching for leads constantly, and then this basically starts off the scraping process. So this process is basically pull from a website, extract the data, pull from a website, extract the data. So you'll notice this all the way through here. Pull the data, extract the data, pull the data, extract the data. If there is data, it gets logged in the sheet and goes no further. If there's no data, it carries on, all the way down to here. At a final hurrah, we use Perplexity to see if it can find any generic emails that are out there for these companies. 9 times out of 10, there is something that Perplexity can pull up. And then we're just exposing that and adding it to the sheet. We've then got a different version of that. So based on the data outputs from the initial very brief overview search of where we think this data is going to be, so whether it's going to be LinkedIn or other platforms, it then goes this way or that way. If we're able to collect some emails immediately, they go through to here, and we have ChatGPT actually break down whether it's like first name or an info@ email, and then addresses it accordingly. So it's just basically going through to find out if we can work out who the individual is that we were able to collect from here, and then we'll just go through and enrich all of this all the way through to the end here where it gets logged, and then the final step. Follow me for loads more tips. In fact, it just gets logged on there. It will try and go this way first, but it also depends what data is available. What else have we got down here? Delete row. So this is kind of a constant moving cycle. So in this sheet, which is created off the back of here, we've got one big generic sheet. It basically takes the line out of there, throws it into here, and once it goes through all of the automation, so this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3, so only once it gets to the end of there, it comes back and goes down here and deletes that row. So that row goes out of the sheet, and it's now logged into a new sheet down here, or whichever stage it gets at through here, if that makes sense. We've got a couple of error handlers and stuff like that as well, but this is as far scrolled out as I can go. Normally we're looking at the automations like this, and we can't even get it in one screen. But yeah, really complicated automation, but it works extremely well. So this is part 2. This is actually the writing of the emails. So this whole entire system's to get from basically inputting, I want to talk to X, Y, and Z, all the way through sending the emails. So we get thrown into here. So this is the new sheet, which is built off the back of whichever stage it finishes in here. Once again, we're adding it to the next document. This just moves over all of the data. So we're collecting things like company names and stuff like that. Oh, it's all hidden in here. Never mind. We also are adding it to Go High Level. That's the hub that we're using for our CRM. And then from there, we go through, pulls, basically it extracts all of their data from the website. This is just pulling away irrelevant elements of that. We've then got Perplexity, which does research about the company, then the individual. So we've got 2 Perplexity scrapes so that we can kind of get more data based on what information is available. And then we've got ChatGPT as well here. Both of these are set up to, if there's ever any error, it just carries on and just ignores it and pretends that it didn't exist, because the chances are 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 out of the 4 will work. In fact, 4 out of 4 will work 99% of the time. But if there is ever an error, we've still got 3 other points of data anyway, so it's really not limiting. Follow me for loads more tips. This then just splits the direction based on what data has been collected. So if there's any issues at all, it will go down. If there's no issues, it will go up, and then we basically just change the data collection points on that. And then, so I'll just run you through one of them. So it logs all of these in here, all of the new data that we've pulled. It then feeds it into ChatGPT to write the emails. So it goes through and writes out all 4 emails. So we have 1 initial email, 2nd follow-up, 3rd follow-up, 4th follow-up, and then it gets added into here, pulled all the way through. This is to just break down the emails into their own separate one. These get added to Go High Level to say these people have been created and they have been contacted, and then we just add them into the email sending provider, and then simply log that data in the sheet. So once it gets past this point, it has been added into the email sending provider, and Go High Level has been updated with exactly who it is that we're contacting and so on. Part 3. This is where the emails reply back and forth to each other. So we have AI actually chat back and forth to the point where it has been done, signed, sorted, and added into here. So we're watching for emails. Second an email comes in, we're searching rows in the sheet. So we've got one big sheet that all of these get put into at the end. This includes all of their email copy and everything like that. So we can very quickly work out which route it's going to go down. So we've got yes, no, out of office, what's this one saying? Wrong person, and then please do not contact me ever again. Based on the different outputs. If it goes to do not contact me ever again, it just gets logged, and that's it. Follow me for loads more tips. If they're out of office, it goes this way. If, oh sorry, wrong person, it goes this way. It just basically asks for, okay, well, who is the right person to speak to? It goes that way. And then we've got out of office, goes this way, and you get the gist. But all of these AIs are prompt and trained on the company, different for each one of these responses. Then it simply sends them an email, logs the new reply in the kind of back in the sheet so that we can use this as a variable. So this is row R, I believe. Yeah, here. So we've told it what the first email was, second email was, third email was, fourth email was, as well as the actual reply, which is given from here. So we know exactly what's been said at every single stage and what's the reason for reaching out, and then the call to actions for them to book a calendar link or phone. And then that literally just gets thrown straight into the email and sent off. And then we get all of these updated in Go High Level. So this actually searches for their opportunity. To start with, they're just in the has been contacted cold column, and gets all moved all the way down to is interested, has booked a meeting. So yeah, that is the whole automation in a very quick 10 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.